Hello dear students, welcome in this online session part 2 of SS 8 standard. Now in the previous lecture I made you to understand what are the two houses of the parliament, how is the parliament formed to here, and we studied about this lesson which is role of parliament in the democratic country or the country's democracy, that also we studied in the previous lecture. So now we'll be going to the upper house, as I made you understand in my previous lecture that what is the lower house of the parliament, and that I made you to understand in that factor related with the Lok Sabha and the internal general assemblies too here. So today we will be focusing over the Rajya Sabha. So as I made you understand, my dear student, here that Rajya Sabha is also one of the part of our, we can say, democracy, as well as it is also one of the neighboring key feature of the other constitutional assemblies also. So today we'll be learning about the Rajya Sabha. Now first of all we need to understand how the Rajya Sabha is formed. So the first question will be that how the Rajya Sabha is formed. See, whenever I am making you to explain these kinds of questions, you need to note down the questions also in your notebook, therefore you can understand by yourself very easily. Okay, so how the Rajya Sabha is formed. So this is today's question. Okay, so if you talk about the Rajya Sabha, then you need to understand that there is formation of Rajya Sabha, but how it is formed? It is formed by the members who are elected in that. Therefore we can say that, my dear student, the elected members of the legislative assembly, where the legislative assembly is, that means the elected member of the legislative assembly of the each selected and elected member of the Rajya Sabha can be compared together. Therefore we can say that the elected member of the legislative assembly of each state elects the members of Rajya Sabha. So somehow they are having the special powers. Now there are 250 members. How many members are there? There are 250 members in the Rajya Sabha. Out of that we can say that 238 members are elected, and the remaining 12 members are actually elected by the nomination, and by the nomination which is given by the president also. So that's how we need to understand that generally we consist of 250 members in the Rajya Sabha. Out of 238 is elected and 12 members are elected by the president. So you need to understand this chart graph, that is the 250, out of that 238 is, we can say that, directly elected by the casting votes and all internally, whether we can say that other remaining 12 members are elected by the president, or we can say that they are actually nominated by the president for the elections and the general assemblies too here. So therefore we can say that that's a forming and that's a general process of the Rajya Sabha. Now this is not only ending till here. See, we can say that the Rajya Sabha is also one of the, we can say, permanent house among the other houses. We can say Rajya Sabha is the permanent house which it is actually getting on its goal, and that's how we can say that it is never gets somehow dissolved completely. So 1/3 of the member, if you talk about the 1/3 of the member of Rajya Sabha retire every year, means every year the 1/3 of the members of the Rajya Sabha are retired every year. Now every year means it's not like every year, it's like every 2 years. Okay, so therefore after, we can say, completing the sessions, or after completing the basic 6 years of the term, a new commission or a new member is also elected in that is included in that. So somehow we can say that Rajya Sabha is working out here. So here we can say that Rajya Sabha is consisting of 12 members appointed by directive principles related to the president and the president assemblies and all, where the 250 seats are there, 238 are elected directly here, and apart from that we can say in the tenure of 6 years, we can say every 2 years the members are somehow retired, or they are also somehow removed, and new members are included, elected in that. So that's how we can say that it is the house of Rajya Sabha. Now if we understand the house of Rajya Sabha, then we need to also understand what is the state and the policy related to the Rajya Sabha and the country too here. Whenever we are talking about the state and the policies related to the country, my dear student, you need to understand that the state and the policies in the country which is actually ruling or making these kinds of houses, it should be considering some of the special key features towards these kinds of houses and all. Therefore we can say that the Rajya Sabha is actually represented on the state level also. therefore representing the country. And therefore we can say that key here the Rajya Sabha, as I made you to understand on the blackboard, that it is 12 presidents, 12 people are 12 members are selected by the president, is also playing a special role task inside the Rajya Sabha. Therefore we can say that the Rajya Sabha is also can be presenting the proposal bills, and it is also one of the important organ that have consisted, or we can say the bill which are actually presented by the member of the people, they must be consisting of a seat in the Rajya Sabha. And before passing the bill, we can say that before passing any bill, it should be studied out well. Therefore any bill can be somehow regulated more further. Now till here also the bill is not legally assigned, we need some more person to sign on the bill and to approve the bill also. Therefore we can say that these houses of the parliament like Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha are appointed actually to present the problem of the people and to also discuss the phenomenon condition of the people. Therefore we can say that the role of Rajya Sabha thus is very important compared to Lok Sabha. Role of Rajya Sabha is very important, and the person who actually presides over this jurisdiction or the sessions of these meetings and all in the Rajya Sabha is also known as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Means actually the person who is maintaining the meetings consisting all the basic features of the, we can say, president assemblies or whatever the discussion sessions inside the Rajya Sabha, he must be accepted or he must be getting a post, or he is actually a person who is known as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Now see, the vice president is actually vice president of the India, if we talk about, acts as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So you must be knowing who is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, the vice president of India. So these are the basic sessions. Now see, if the sessions are there, see my dear student, if the sessions are there, then there must be some kinds of hours, and that hours could be getting towards the questioning session also. Questions are asked in that. Now why the questions are asked? What is the importance of the question? Then we can say that ki, according to the condition and the norms, if we talk about, then parliament and the parliamentary organizatory bodies are also consisting of some of the sessions. Now in this session we can say that student ki, questioning hour plays an important role. Why it is playing the important role? Because we can say that ki, at the time of the questioning hour, it is decided upon ki, during the which loopholes the government, the country should be working out here, and executives are the main players in that. Executive people from the different state governance, their commission and the state we can say policies and all, they are also executing the problems, they are also representing the problems in which we can say that okay, these are the general assemblies and the constitutional benefits are also studied out. So therefore we can say that okay, Rajya Sabha is playing an important role, and in the Rajya Sabha questioning hour is actually one of the also playing one of the also we can say the questioning hour is also playing one of the very important role in consisting the basic balance of the Rajya Sabha. So if we go in the detail, my dear student, then we can say that during this questioning hour, must understand this very carefully. During the questioning hour, the member of parliament asks the questions together to get the information also, and they gathers the information also, be somehow relating with the government and working organizations too. So in this way we can say that government is coming to know about the problems, about the views and opinions of the people and the loopholes also, and therefore it is also an important responsibility. It is the important responsibility of the member of the questioning government, we can say that, where the opposition party is actually playing a major role in asking, and by forgetting the right and the wrong between the questioning hour sessions, and they're also keeping their own judgmental theory. So this questioning hour is highlighting the loopholes in which we can say that the policies and the programs and the systematic theories the government is also examined well. Now if you are thinking that what is the meaning of loopholes, then I would like to tell you that loophole means a situation or a condition regarding any state or any zone or any we can say community is actually not cleared well. So that kind of loopholes are studied, means we can say that the confusion of the people and the executive people are also cleared that. So that's how we can say that it is actually working as a loopholes. Now the person who presides, means the person who holds the authority over the session of the Lok Sabha, is also known as the speaker, and same as in the Rajya Sabha also we consist of the speakers and all. So the president is the most important integral part of the parliamentary assemblies and all, and the bill which I made you to understand, which is also discussed inside the Rajya Sabha, is only decided and proceeded well, and it is becoming law only we can say that after the signature of the person who is main authority department person of the Rajya Sabha. Therefore we can say that he has also, the speaker, he has also the power to decide about the meetings and the sessions, and also we can say that the announcement about the compensations and other kinds of competitions, or we can say that completions related to the Rajya Sabha. It means that we need the signature of vice president, that is the chairman, and also we can say speaker along with the president to make a bill into the proper law. And that's how we can say that the systematic theory is actually depending upon the Rajya Sabha. Now this is not it, my dear student. Whenever a country, if the country is focusing on the basic benefits and the theories related to the Rajya Sabha, related to the Lok Sabha, related to governance of the people, then we can say that these kinds of sessions are actually, these kinds of countries are actually working under the norms and conditions of the constitution and constitutional assemblies too here. And therefore we can say that these kinds of houses like Rajya Sabha, and we can say that the elected members, like in the Lok Sabha 5 years of the tenure is there, in the Rajya Sabha 6 years the tenure is there. So this Rajya Sabha is working in the terms and conditions related to the government. Now my dear student, we need to understand how the government is formed. Okay, then we'll again go to the Rajya Sabha. Dekho, first of all we need to understand the government is formed on the basic pillars. Now if you talk about the Rajya Sabha, then Rajya Sabha is actually working according to the government and guiding the government too here. But generally we can say that how the government is also formed out. See, government is forming on the basic pillars, as I made you understand. So we will start from the basic grade. We can say that like the government is forming from the basic chart here. So what will the upper portion? Upper portion consist of the forms of government. Okay, this is the forms of government. I'm just writing the short form GOVT. Okay, government. Now it will be going to the monarchy here. Okay, that is the monarch. Okay, laterally we can say that after the monarchy of the government will be moving towards the basic factor on the left hand side. So that will be the democracy. Okay, so now it is going the democracy. Now laterally we can say that democracy will be ruling the parliamentary assemblies, relating the parliamentary government also. Here we can say that it is the parliamentary government also. I don't have space here much, so I'll explain it orally. Then here we can say that the government of the president assemblies can be seen out here, presidential government here. Down portion, you can check it out, the figure also in a textbook given, that is downside of the president government. We can see that the unitary government is there, that is unitary government. Then unitary government working with the federal government, that is the consolidated government also, that is the correlated government related with the factor also. And on the democratic value we can say that parliamentary government is working over the unitary government and the federal states too here, where we can say that India is consisting the name of the federal states. Therefore these are the basic key factor where we can say that the starting factor government. Then on the right hand side we can say monarch, on the left hand side we can say monarchy is there, on the left side democracy is there. Then democracy is coming down with the basic factor of the presidential governmental. Today we can say that. Then other hand side we can understand about the parliamentary government system. Now president government system consists of unitary government system, federal government systems, and democratic government system consists of basic key factor of the unitary government system, that is united government system, and apart from that federal government system also. So therefore these are the basic key factor which are actually explaining you the concept and the theories related to the concept of government and the extra knowledge related to the government, that how the government is formed. So in the previous lecture we studied about the Lok Sabha and the general assemblies and the democracy and the party also of that here, and right now we are moving towards the Rajya Sabha. So as I made you understand, Rajya Sabha is holding the questioning hour and the sessions also, where we can say that 238 members are selected directly, where the 12 members are selected and nominated by the president here, and we can say total number of the seats consisting is like 250 here. So this is a general example generally related toward the Rajya Sabha. So a country needs the basic pillar related to the development structure, related to the we can say prosperous structure, related to security balance also, and all the structures are actually discussed inside the parliament. Now let me give an extra knowledge here, that India is going to build a new parliament session, a new parliament building, so which will also get a new basic benefits for the Indian committees, members, and other kinds of pending sessions to study there also. Therefore we can say that our democracy system will become very faster enough and very reliable to the people also. Therefore this lesson was till here only, making the basic benefits related to the Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, upper house, lower house, and the houses which are related with the general concept of the assemblies also, and the general basic belief of the, we can say, theories related to the people of India, which are actually known as the basic power of the India, because the country like India is depending upon the systematic theory of democracy, and democracy is depending upon the people. As I made you to understand, the democracy role of parliament is working on the democracy. Democracy is making the country to go well, and democracy is the only thing where we can say that it is actually working for the people, by the people, and to the people. That's how it is also generating the secularism, it is generating the rights of the freedom, rights of speech also, and many more kinds of fundamental principles which are helpful for the nation. So I hope this lecture was interesting to you, my dear student, and let's meet and talk about the other lesson in some other part of the lecture. This was part number 2 of the role of parliament in the democracy or democratic country. So you must get more example. If you need to understand the lecture, you must read the book and the page number 47 to the 53, 50 page number by yourself, and we'll meet in the other lecture. Till then, you can take care. Jai Hind.